How long do you think he's been out here? Must have been a while. His clothes are soaked with morning dew. As I drifted back into consciousness, I heard Nanami and Mio talking nearby. Their voices sounded hushed, as though they were far away. I briefly considered jumping up and scaring them, but my body was not going to let me. Maybe you should poke him! Hikage, there's no need for that. Takahito-san, wake up, you lazy slob! I groaned as my eyes finally opened, the early rays of the rising sun making me raise a hand to conceal my eyes from the bright light. I was usually quite the morning person, but having fallen asleep under the starry sky, I wasn't exactly in familiar surroundings. Did the Valkyrie come to take me off to Valhalla? Heh! He's talking gibberish! Do you intend to lie around all morning, or do you plan on being useful? They're warrior angels who come down from the heavens to pick up the souls of fallen warriors who have fought heroic battles. Not that I plan on dying anytime soon. You're no warrior, and neither is Narumi. Did you become an even bigger idiot overnight? This is exactly why I need to train you both. None of you are warriors yet, but with my help, you will both become fine, noble warriors capable of handling anything. I liked her more when she was drunk. It will be an honor to learn from you, Sensei. Yes, ma'am! Maybe Takahito-kun can teach us both some of his moves. An excellent suggestion, Narumi. I believe he is a competent fighter, and learning more than simply how to use a weapon, but to fight without one too, would be a very convenient skill to have. However, work cannot begin like this. You need to get changed, eat, and wake up. Get to it! But the grass is kinda soft here, and the view is pretty nice. Yeah, but if we leave, these mountains will disappear! That's a convincing argument, Narumi-chan. But I wonder, which mountain would be the most difficult to climb? Mount Mio or Mount Narumi? Enough of this idiotic banter, you bumbling buffoon of a boy! Mio-sensei, can I ask you something? What is it? We've been overwhelmed by the power of Jutsun. Could you please bless us with your dairy once in a while? You'd like that too, wouldn't you, Narumi-chan? You might need to explain that. I don't really know what that means. Sorry, Takahito-kun. Never mind, don't worry about it. I'm just saying, she should be less of a meanie pants and show us a bit of love and affection. What happened to motivating your troops? Meanie pants? Will you stop making such ridiculous comments? I ought to slap some respect into you. Hee, angry Mio! I kinda missed the Mio I saw at the hot springs yesterday. That was something completely unrelated. You don't know what you're talking about. Stop saying such embarrassing things. Jeez. Personality disorder? What? As if one wasn't bad enough, you're saying we've got 2 Mios wandering around? Just wait, Narumi-chan. Soon we'll have a whole army of Mios. Stop it! Stop it! Shut up, both of you, right this instant! This is getting ridiculous! The girl, who was now blushing brightly, turned her back to me and stormed off with a huff, her arms crossed indignantly. I guess I better get up before she decides to return and kick me into gear. Thanks for the wake-up call, Narumi-chan. After apologizing to Mio, explaining that it was merely a joke, the girl had decided that she wanted to train each of us personally. We both waited for Mio to show up for the first part of the program, which was to take place in the town square. It reminded me of a training camp at the dojo, although I had a feeling that this was about to turn out to be more fun. As we waited, I noticed that preparations were being made for what looked like a festival. I asked Narumi about it, and she told me it was an annual celebration, happening a few days from now. As we chatted, Mio turned up, sword in hand, and a faint smirk on her face. Perfect! It seems like you're ready. If there's something every warrior needs, it's strength and discipline. With this in mind, let us start running laps around the village. Oh no! Not laps! That's all? Yes, and those who slack off will be punished! Now run! Without any warning, Mio drew her sword and pointed at the two of us. Cringing, Narumi tugged at my arm, making it clear that our teacher wasn't joking. Let's get down to it, shall we? Oh no! She's enjoying this far too much! We will defeat those spirits! Oh boy. Quit your yapping and get to running, unless you're eager to feel the edge of my sword. Yeah, she's totally enjoying. Come on, Takahito-kun, let's get going. She's not gonna be reasoned with like this. She's a freaking drill sergeant! As I started to run alongside Narumi, I decided to finally take the exercise seriously. All things considered, I was surprised at the pace Narumi was running at. Even though I felt like I could brag a bit about my own physical strength, her stamina was clearly superior to mine. After several hours of running, I found myself on my back. My breathing was ragged and heavy, while Narrate was still standing upright, although visibly exhausted, judging from her panting. Mio had also been keeping up with us, and while she was panting too, she still looked fit to fight and ready to go. Do you do this every day? Not every day, no. Otherwise, we could not get patrolling done. But I cannot fault you for your spirit. You both did well. I was harder than anything we've done before. I wouldn't be surprised if Mio-san ended up being the final boss someday. Strength and stamina are clearly beyond human capabilities. Clearly! Maybe she's some kind of spirit, here to be mean to us on a superhuman level. Narrate, how would you like to run 10 more laps around the village? Ah, no! I'm sorry, Great Mio! Please, forgive me! I was just kidding! You think we'll be allowed to take a break if we pray to the almighty guardian spirit of this village? I eyed Mio as I attempted to hold back my smile, clapping my hands together in a prayer. Narrate giggled and followed my example. Oh, mighty Mio-sama! You, who watch over this village, please bless us with a short break. And maybe a lot of money and a beautiful wife and... Okay, a break is fine. You two idiots want a break that badly? Fine, I have an idea. Elder-sama needs his baths cleaned. That ought to loosen you up for the next part of the training. You hear that, Narrate-chan? We get to play at the hot springs! Yay! Clapping my hands one final time, I took Narrate and Mio's hands by surprise, and dragged the two girls towards the village elder's house. Ah! What are you doing? Let go of me right this instant! Mio-san, it won't do you any good to be serious like that all the time. Let's have some fun! The three of us quickly reached the hot springs and were soon preparing to begin our work. However, it didn't take long for the somewhat serious cleaning work to turn into a series of silly games as I started chasing Narrate around with a soap-soaked sponge, shouting in a nefarious tone. I'm the soap monster! Prepare to be washed, foolish warrior! Ah, no! The evil soap has appeared! Do not fear, citizens of Hot Spring Village! Yeah! The girl grabbed her mop and thrust it forwards, brandishing it like Mio would have her katana. I am the village's protector! Tsunderito Mio! I will vanquish all who oppose me! Will you two stop messing around? We have work to do! It is the dreadful Mio, nemesis of all spirits. Today's the day you fall. Yeah! Never! I will defend this place until my last breath! Ha! Brandishing her mop in a candid fashion, she clearly didn't mean to do any real harm. Using my sponges, I batted it away with ease. Then today shall be your last. I told you to knock it off! I laughed menacingly when a playful push came from Narrate caught me off guard. I staggered backwards, my foot slipping on a bar of soap. With a startled yelp of surprise, I felt myself topple over backwards, bumping into Mio. As I lost my balance completely, I let go of the sponge, sending it flying towards Narrate, who caught it on the face. I moved forwards to apologize to the woman when, from behind me, I heard a yelp and a loud splash. Uh-oh! I don't want to look, do I? As I slowly turned around, my fears seemed to have been confirmed. Pulling herself from the water was Mio, soaked from head to toe. The anger that radiated off of her made her look like the devil himself. You two... I'm sorry! 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 It was Sakura's fault! He started it! Traitor! You can't blame me for... My eyes caught sight of Mio's clothes, which I finally noticed had turned see-through. I bet he did it so he could see you soaking wet like last night! That wasn't part of the plan! What plan? He's joking! It was just a joke! Seriously, Takahiro-kun and I were just playing around! It was an accident! Please forgive us! Yeah, you should forgive us. We were just having a bit of fun. We didn't mean to have it turn out like this. Hey, he's right! I told you both not to play around. I told you to both keep working. Hikage, I will deal with you later. Leave! Takahiro, you need to be punished now! What? That's not fair! It was an accident! It was an honor to have fought alongside you, Narrate-chan. My will has not yet been written, but I leave all my belongings to anyone who wants it. I'm not leaving! If you're gonna punish him, punish me too! Besides, I bet you're only doing this because you want to spend more time with him! What? That's ridiculous! Whatever gave you that idea? I don't even like him! Besides, you're the one spending too much time with him. Well, hold on, what are you talking about? Ha! You admit it! You're jealous because I get to spend more time with him than you do! busted! That's complete nonsense. I just want to spar with him. Shut up, Narrate! Takahito, prepare yourself. We're going to spar right now, without Narrate and her big butt interrupting us. Hey, I know you're jealous. My figure is divine. Spar? Right here? Right now? But you're soaked. A warrior should not worry about such things. Battles can be fought in the lashing rain or beneath the burning sun, but they must be fought. She just wants to show off her goods! I'm gonna regret this. I sighed deeply as I took a combative stance, certain that something was going to end up going wrong. Soaked as she was, fighting against me, someone who uses grapples and throws, she was practically asking for trouble. This is a perfect opportunity. Sometimes your greatest strength can become your own worst enemy. Get in here, Takahito! We'll spar like this, knee-deep in water! This will be a fine test of your skills! The girl made her way to the edge of the water and grabbed a discarded mop. It took a lot of willpower not to glance at her soaked figure as her clothes clung to her body. I eventually made it into the water, taking a defensive stance as she moved back towards the center of the pool. Narrate! If you interfere, I will inform Elder Sama of the fate of his dearly beloved old teddy bear. The one you used as a la-la-la-la-la! No one has to hear anything! Fine, I'll stay put. You need someone to haul your body from the water once Takahito's done with you anyway. Isn't that blackmail? Oh, it's blackmail, alright. Now, prepare yourself. The attack came a lot faster than I had anticipated. The wooden shaft aimed squarely at my midsection and hit me straight and hard, knocking me back a few steps. I hissed at the pain of the impact spread, flexing my arms out. Mio sloshed forwards, waves of water splashing aside as she stomped onward. I pushed myself upwards, dodging another strike to my left. Go! Go! Takahito-kun! I moved closer, trying to make her thrust less effective thanks to the length of the mop handle, and aimed a blow towards her shoulder. To my surprise, she took the hit without moving an inch. If you're not going to put everything you have into this, you might as well stop calling yourself a man. My eyes narrowed a little, and I pulled back a wide strike sought to slam into my side. Growling, I let my anger flare. I quickly lashed out, smacking the mop handle away forcefully, and used the opportunity to get close once more. I managed to land a few jabs against her midsection, one and to her shoulder, before darting backwards as best I could in the water. She appeared winded for a moment or two before she spun the mop in her hands, pushing forwards again. Takahito-kun! 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 Her next strike was a downward slash, which I caught between my hands. With a grin, I pulled hard on the stick and flung my foot upwards in an attempt to land a kick. She did the only sensible thing and let go of the mop, which let me toss it aside with ease. A swordswoman without a sword can't hope to beat an experienced martial artist. This match is lost. Surrender. I suppose I have no choice. As soon as she said that, she spun around, lashing her leg upwards in a roundhouse kick that caught my jaw, knocking me back and almost landing me on my rear. Overconfidence gets you killed. The fight isn't over until your opponent is down. She stood in front of me, her fists raised in a stance I did not recognize. If she was quicker without a weapon than with, I didn't stand a chance of beating her. Her kicks were powerful, as the ache in my jaw reminded me, and she had plenty of stamina to go off of. The only way I could stop her was to use that. That's not the only way to win a fight, you know. I stepped forward, purposely. I didn't need to attack her, just to get close. A few steps, and I had her right where I needed her, cornered and unable to get past me. I took another step, and she darted to one side, trying to get past my blockade. I looped an arm around her waist and braced myself for the counterattack I knew would follow. My left leg applied pressure against her knees, sending her down onto them, while my other arm grabbed her arms high above her head, my weight pressed against her body. No! Yay! Takahito couldn't use the submission hold! I held her tightly, but not enough to cause pain. All I had to do was lower my right hand, which in return would put pressure on her body. I did so slowly, showing her just what she was up against. Do you give up? Ah! Fine, you win. I grinned widely, chuckling to myself. I slowly helped her to her feet, gradually releasing my hold. Try not to struggle when I release you, otherwise... But it was too late. Before I had a chance to warn her about the problem with that particular hold, she pulled away from my grip. The angle of her arms and the tightness of my arm around her waist caused her clothes to tighten as she pulled away. Blood circulation had a tendency of getting cut off, occasionally causing people to faint. In this case, however, it was her clothes that paid the price for impatience.